Hello folks and welcome back to Medieval Total War. I am Conostep and this is going to be part 17 of my early campaign where I'm playing as the Byzantines. And we've had a few quiet episodes here and that's to be expected. At this point in the campaign, it is going to be mostly about me getting my economy going and building up my military infrastructure. And I have done so in both regards quite well. There's been a few hiccups, most notably just in the sense that the French have been really annoying with their single boat, which has just been really evading my boats for quite a while. But I do have a plan, thanks to one of my viewers that has suggested that I split up my fleets into basically my faster boats, my dromons, and then my stronger boats, my galleys. And then I just split them up in the same sea region, and then I attack with the faster boats to catch the boat that I'm trying to attack, and then I essentially also attack it with my other stack, my galleys, in the same turn, just so that those boats can guarantee that I win that battle. And that way I should be able to actually catch these boats, because the fleets are always going to be marked by their slowest boat. Like, that's going to be as fast as they can go is based on their slowest boat. And yeah, that's a principle that like I kind of understood, but I didn't really understand it in a sense. Like, it's kind of like it. It's funny, if either of you have watched, and if any of you have watched my Aragon and my Almohads campaigns, it took me the longest time to figure out how to fight a siege battle with reinforcements. Like, I just didn't get it. I didn't know you could just like drag a stack onto a castle and then drag the other stack onto the castle and then just fight. I don't know. I don't know why that didn't click. That didn't click with me. And yeah, that's going to be the same thing with fleets, is using that. However, because the French crusade has actually dissipated now, it's gone. It's no longer on my border. I should, in theory, be able to just get an automatic ceasefire with the French. That has not happened yet, and that's been a bit frustrating. I don't quite know why. I'm retreating my boats from... Oh, it's this fucking place. God damn it. Yeah, goddamn. Wow. Yep, I did not see this. So, let's... get our boats out of the Gulf of Lions and go here. And that should be it. That's the thing that I was missing. I was bordering Toulouse. But everything else should be cleared out by now. So I should be good to get that auto ceasefire. Hopefully by next turn, we will see. So that would be really nice. That would be really nice. And then I would do it the same way that I did with the Italians, where I just made sure I always had at least 2 boats in a province, just to make sure that they didn't feel like they could instigate another war against me. And that seemed to have worked with the Italians. You know, they've been really behaving themselves. Obviously, they're in a pretty bad spot. They just have Genoa and then Corsica and Sardinia, and that's all they have. So, yeah, but we will see. I'll try to get that auto ceasefire with the French, and then just open up my northern trade routes, which should be giving me a lot of money. Currently, I'm already doing pretty good, you know, making 8,000. But I feel like with my northern routes open, I was like making 14 or 1,500, which is pretty good. So, or no, sorry, 14 or 15,000. Yeah, yeah, that felt pretty gosh darn good. And I'm sitting on 250,000 in the bank as well. So like, I have nothing to be, you know, ashamed at for sure, considering that I'm at war with 4 factions. You know, that's okay. Yeah, and speaking of that 4th faction I'm at war with, the Sicilians came back, and I was like happy because I could trade with them. And then, yeah, after a few turns, they got a boat in the water, and then they attacked me, and I was like, oh, those fucking Sicilians. Now, there does seem to be an opportunity here. Since I did beat their boat, they cannot reinforce Sicily with their armies in Malta, and quite frankly, their armies in Malta are a bit better from a melee perspective. They have more of these swordsmen, these feudal men-at-arms. And just in general, they seem a bit stronger than their armies in Sicily that have a lot of archers. Now, still some decent melee components here for sure, but I'm probably just going to go right in here and smash them. And then I can probably get an auto ceasefire with these Sicilians, leaving them here in Malta, and then just trading, then going back to trading with Malta. You know, like keeping them as my captive trading partner. And then hopefully the Italians, if they take Sicily, that'd be really cool. They have the boats to do so. You know, the Straits of Sicily, the Tyrrhenian Sea, and the Ligurian Sea, they have boats in all of these places. So after I take Sicily and then like abandon it, hopefully the Italians come in and just, you know, take over whatever's left. And then I could trade with them there. That'd be fine. I wouldn't care about that. That'd be pretty dope. So hopefully that's what happens. Now, I have been pretty docile on the whole training thing for a while, just to kind of make sure my upkeep does not go insane. I even stopped building boats rather recently as well. None of my islands are making boats anymore, just because I do feel like I'm pretty secure in the oceans, and I don't want to start building boats until I can actually start building my 3rd tier boat, which is going to be the fire galley, and that's not going to be available until the high period, which starts in the year 1205. So it's still 15 years to go before that happens. And yeah, I think I'll just sit on what I have boat-wise, you know, until then, just to kind of, whatever, save some money, you know. So yeah, as far as things are going here, I'm still working on being able to get cataphracts going in Constantinople. I made a blunder by working on the cathedral here first. It's not the worst move. This is a really good building. This is going to give the units trained here +3 morale, which is really, really good. It just means that I'm not going to get cataphracts for a bit longer. Bulgaria is pretty close to being able to train Bulgarian brigands. I am focusing on my economy buildings first, so it's going to be that. But then I think I just need that archer building, and I think I should be good. Serbia can probably get something. I think getting the Spearmakers Guild, this building itself won't do anything for me, but then I can eventually get the Master Spearmaker, and that's going to give my Spearman +1 Valor. So that's fine there. I think Nicaea is working on getting Pronoi Legion at some point, and Greece is training Varangian Guard. Nicaea is working on the Pronoi Legion, of course. Anatolia is going to be my siege equipment province, but again, I guess I can't train... See, I thought I could, but I guess I can't train trebuchets until the high period, which I'm kind of surprised by, but whatevs. Trebizond, yeah, I'm not really doing much. You know, I can train Trebizond archers there, but their upkeep is so high, so I'm just going to kind of wait on that. Lesser Armenia is focusing on building or training spies, so let's keep going with that. I want to have a spy in every single one of my provinces to help maintain the population loyalty, just to make sure that that stays all good. And then once I'm finished putting spies in all of my provinces, I will start to reach out and put spies in enemy provinces that do not have border forts. So if you look around, like Toulouse, for instance, does not have a border fort. Aquitaine just has a border watchtower, which will not catch spies. Brittany does have a border fort. But I just kind of go around and check that out, because it's nice having spies. Having a spy in a province will just by themselves lower population loyalty, but in addition to that, they can also spy on enemy generals, and that can cause certain traits within that general. There's a few things here. It reveals hidden vices and virtues, and for a while I didn't really know the value of that, because I was like, so what, you know, like it doesn't really matter too much. But then I remembered that there's this thing where if you look at, see if I can find one, there's vices and virtues that will say secret blackmailer or secret adulterer or something like that. And the point of that is that the effect hasn't really come into play until the population finds out, right? Until it becomes known that that person's a blackmailer or an adulterer. Now, the blackmailer is a big one, because when it's known that they're blackmailing, they get punished, and then they lose loyalty. So that's a big one, right? Spies revealing vices, you can lower the loyalty of generals just by doing that. However, there's other things as well. You can basically develop these this vice chain where they get really suspicious because they know they're being spied on, and they start to get really brutal with their local populace, and they will, gosh, it's kind of, yeah, I can't remember all the details, but eventually their populace, if they are a governor, their populace of their province will be losing loyalty as well. So there's things that you can do with that to sort of lower the loyalty of provinces and kind of destabilize regions a bit. So I might do that. I don't know if I want to do that with the Almohads, because they are a buffer between me and the Spanish, so I might leave them alone. But to destabilize the Germans or the French would be kind of fun, just to kind of create something going on right here. Because, again, it's just me who's at war with people. No one else is at war. The Germans, the French, you know, the Italians, the Spanish, the Almohads, Polish, the Hungarians, the Novgorods, the Danes, everyone is just really happy with themselves, which is really annoying, but at the same time, like, hey, whatever, I'm handling it, you know? And despite the fact that I have these huge border armies here in Bulgaria and Serbia, and then even down here in Egypt and up here in Georgia. Despite the fact that I have all of these armies, I'm still, you know, as I said, making a decent income, and that's without, like, you know, a potential like third of the map that I'm not trading with up here until I'm able to reestablish my trading lines. So there's some potential to be made here for sure. And, you know, obviously it's, you know, some positive outlooks that it can be happening pretty soon here. And I also have a young emperor, and he just got married, I believe. He's 26, so he needs to start making some babies. That would be lovely. And yeah, he has a younger brother, and he's, oh yeah, that's right, he's the inbred one. Okay, right. Yeah, he's on his second, this is the second inbred trait, -2 acumen, -2 command. And I guess it's worse being inbred than it is to be drunk, because I have a drunk emperor and then an inbred brother. And yeah, he's on his second drunkenness vice, and he has -1 command and -1 acumen. So yeah, it's a bit unfortunate, but at least he's young, so at least he'll just be drunk forever. Oh dear. All right, well, where was I? So I'm training Varangian guards here in Georgia. I think I'm working on, I'm getting my +1 Valor assassins trained here in Syria, which feels good. And then I think, I can finally train Byzantine cavalry now. This is awesome. The Byzantines have a state army as well as mercenary forces. These cavalry are the disciplined armored successors to the Roman legions, armed with bows and swords. While they're not, while not as fleet as steppe mercenaries, they can be relied on to give a good account of themselves in battle. So this is like a hybrid unit. It's a, decent melee, but it's also a horse archer. So it's not going to be as fast as the basic horse archers. It's also not going to be as fast as like dedicated light cav, like the Saharan cav for the Almohads. But, it's a good hybrid unit, and I'm happy to get these guys going. Do I want to put armor on them, or do I want them to be available for desert warfare if I need to. Like, I don't know if I'm going to need to, but it'd be nice to have them available for Egypt. So maybe I should have another province that can train them up and put some armor on them. So what should I do instead? Give them some morale? Yeah, let's do that. Give them a church. They'll give them some additional morale boost. And Palestine is working on... This is going to be my other sword, my other Byzantine infantry province. So I'm working on some armor here. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So I think, considering that I do want to invade Sicily to knock this out, knock out these forces, because they did actually try to attack Naples twice, I think. And each time they've decided not to. So just to like settle my heart rate down and not give me so much anxiety, how about I just get rid of them and try to install like a puppet regime or something like that? That'd be kind of cool. And I was looking at my border forces. Like, I don't really want to take forces from any of my border regions at this point. I want to leave these guys here. There's a lot of Poles in Moldavia. There's a lot of Germans in Hungary and Croatia. So I should leave this here, just to not invite attack. And then Egypt is probably a little oversaturated, but whatever. Let's just build up 2 new stacks. Let's just do that. And I want to do something that I've been really excited to try out for a very long time that I've never quite really, it's just been like in concept mode. And that is to essentially use the reinforcement system in this game as a multi-wave attack plan. And that's something that I think would be really exciting to do, because I noticed this is something that I have kind of touched on a bit here or there throughout my campaigns. But in my first few practice campaigns, when I was playing as like the Almohads off camera, and I was realizing that when the AI in this game, I feel like is a lot better than the AI in Shogun when it comes to actually just rushing you and beating you, like with brutal, straight on, upfront, head-to-head force. And it's impressive, because I feel like in Shogun you could kind of overpower the enemy a lot. In Shogun, I feel like in Shogun the AI was better at setting traps. So there is that, but I feel like the AI in this game is better at just rushing you and killing you with heavy cav and heavy infantry, which it has been something that's gotten me, a lot, because I like to build balanced builds. That is a weakness of mine. I get it. I just think it's more fun to play. You know, like I know you could probably just go in with a bunch of Varangians and Cataphracts and just kind of steamroll other armies, but I like using, grenades and archers and combined arms and all that stuff. I like using it's just more interesting for me, So I would get steamrolled sometimes by an army that would bring in like 6 Royal Knights or something like that, and I'd be like, oh fuck it, we've seen that in this campaign. Already Sicily got me. That first battle they brought in a lot of Royal Knights and I got steamrolled. So here's what's funny though, is that about a lot of these battles where this has happened, as long as I have reinforcements in play, I can usually like I'll lose that first wave, but then because the enemy threw their first wave out, which is their strongest wave oftentimes, and since they've thrown their best units at me in their first wave, and then it destroys my first wave, it gets tired, it gets split up, it's chasing units in different directions, because again, unlike Shogun, where all of the units automatically route to the same direction, which is your side of the map, which can be basically abused, because if you just get behind the enemy, they will route through your forces, which feels dumb, but it allows you to basically just kill an entire army by having them run through your forces as you're killing them. In this game, they're a lot smarter. When units route off, they route off in different directions, forcing the chasing units to split off and go every which way, right, to get as many captures or kills as they can. As the player or the faction or the army that's broken in that instance, what this allows you to do is to bring on a wave of reinforcements that can essentially solidify, unify, and then fight back against a lot of these really good units, but they're now tuckered out, they're tired, they're a bit damaged, and they're completely split off. They're not formed into an actual cohesive fighting unit. And then once that best wave of the enemy is taken care of, oftentimes their reinforcements will be coming on in waves. Not always. Sometimes they will bring them all on and fight as one, but you can also kind of pick them apart here or there, depending on the situation. So with that in mind, what I would kind of like to do is to essentially design my battle plans as waves that have different purposes. And I think this would be really neat because there's some historical precedence for this, right? Because battles a lot of times would have a skirmish phase before they have a melee engagement phase, right? And it's something that I feel like Total War games have always, it's hard for me to say because I haven't played a lot of these games, but I feel like video games in general have a hard time really replicating the importance of what it means to be a skirmisher. Historically, in warfare, light infantry have a really important role. And in video games, light infantry oftentimes they're just the guys that do damage from a distance. And that's, they're the kiters, right? That you can kite and you can shoot your bows. But that's kind of missing the point here. The point is that light infantry can take terrain that heavy infantry cannot take. Whether it's a rugged mountainous area, or whether it's a forest, or whether it's a desert, they have an easier time on difficult terrain. They fight usually in a loose or irregular formation that allows them to oftentimes lean into their higher individualized combat styles to kind of win more. Whether it's a melee engagement hand in hand or what have you, they won't be fighting in formation a lot of times. And yes, they can also use their ranged, missiles to disrupt the enemy, right? It's not always going to be about just insane damage dealing like you get a lot of times in video games, where it's just, pouring fire into the enemy and destroying them with arrows or what have you. A lot of times, though, it's just, it's the disruption of enemy, infantry, heavy infantry that cannot actually chase these archers or slingers or what have you, javelin men, and they can't chase them off into this difficult terrain, which can be very frustrating. And I feel like my ideas for using a multi-wave action plan in this game could actually really kind of simulate this structure, this multi-wave strategy of combat, where my skirmish wave would come in, and it would not just be all archers and all, horse archers. No, not like that. It would be still somewhat balanced, but with a lean towards being lighter. A lighter force that has, archers and light cavalry, light infantry that can pepper the enemy, and it can engage in melee to some limited degree, mostly just for the purpose of eventually routing, and by the nature of them being light infantry and light cavalry, hopefully they can evade their pursuers to some degree. Obviously, there will be casualties and there will be men captured and caught and what have you, but I believe, actually, now that I'm thinking about this, I'm coming up with more ideas in my head as I'm talking about this. If I route my men and then they're captured, those are guys that I can just buy back at the end of the battle, and assuming I'm victorious, that should be fine, right? So yeah, anyway, going forward, that's a neat little idea as well. But yeah, that's the idea, right? This entire first wave essentially just routes off the battlefield after, harassing and annoying and harrying this enemy wave, and eventually they all rout off. And I wait until they're mostly all routed off. Now, the difficulty in this is that I do want my primary good general of the army in my first wave. Otherwise, he will not be the general of the army, right? I can't have my general in the army be in the second wave. I'm pretty sure that's right. That wouldn't work that way. His command would not, have any influence on the battlefield. So he would be in the back of the map, basically just kind of sitting on a hill and watching stuff happen, as they did, right? And, it's not like they'd be engaging in the skirmish phase of a battle, for Christ's sakes. So hopefully, the enemy's going to be too distracted chasing off my units. And then I can bring in the reinforcements, the heavy hitters, the guys coming in right behind them. And this could get a little close, right? The enemy could be attacking my general by this point, but hey, my generals are in cataphracts, so hopefully with their defense values and their armor values, they can actually hang on at least for a minute or so while those heavy hitting reinforcements come on. And I'm talking Varangian guards, Byzantine infantry, naphtha throwers, yes. And then also, a lot of these archer units that the Byzantines have access to that are pretty good in a melee, and they can move fast. The Trebizond archers, the Bulgarian brigands, these are units that can really close the distance and add their ranged firepower, which will still add a morale debuff to the enemy just by being shot at by, a ranged unit. And also heavy cav as well, Pronoia Legion, more cataphracts. And this second wave essentially would be designed to break apart this disparate, disjointed enemy army that's just scattered throughout the entire map, break them, bust them off the map, and then potentially also be able to deal with the enemy's second wave as well, depending on the strength of my forces and the strength of theirs. But yeah, that would be the idea. And then I have ideas for a third wave as well that would be more task-oriented for kind of hunting down skirmishers and stuff, because I feel like a lot of times the AI will leave a lot of their weaker units towards the end, but you never want to underestimate that, because massed archers can still be tough to deal with. And if you're just trying to go after them with like plotting heavy infantry and plotting heavy cavalry, especially after they've had to fight off a couple of waves, that can also be pretty frustrating. So having a third wave of my own that's more leaning towards being able to deal with skirmishers, like Pavis crossbows and Pavis arbalesters with some light cav and maybe some more light infantry, who knows, stuff like that. That would be kind of the idea with theirs, is that units that can really close the distance with skirmishers but still get the job done in a melee. That's kind of the idea. The third wave of mine is still kind of a work in progress in my head, but I have a pretty solid idea of what I want to do with my first and second waves. And this might be a decent opportunity. This isn't the greatest opportunity to showcase this idea. I'm still going to do it. I still want to, because I want to practice. This has only been in my head for months. This has been in my head, and I've never done this because you can't do reinforcements in custom battles. So you can't replicate this. It's just been in my head. So This isn't the perfect opportunity because there's going to be, what, 7 archers, 14 fucking archers. Oh, God. Okay, so yeah, that's going to be kind of annoying and not perfect. And the general themselves, there's no strong generals here, just 2 0-star generals. So, this isn't going to be the greatest opportunity, but this can showcase. Hopefully, my idea here is that obviously I'll be the attacker, right? And attacking into 14 archers is not really ideal, not all at once, but yeah, I'll be fighting up against a lot of archers. And the idea, in principle, my thinking is that this can work against entrenched, missile-heavy defensive forces that are entrenched onto a high ground or a forest or what have you. Because, again, that skirmish wave of mine, the idea is that it can pull defensive forces away from their entrance positions. So, in this situation, do I want to charge uphill into 7 archers? No, I do not. But if I can pull their mounted sergeants off of that hill, if I can pull their feudal men-at-arms, their spearmen, their feudal sergeants, to maybe chase after my army that looks weak, and in some senses it will be weak. It's going to be archers and javelin men and light cav and skirmish cav. It's going to be something that mounted sergeants are going to want to chase after. It's going to be something that feudal men-at-arms knows that they can beat. And then I can, pull them away so that they're not protecting the archers anymore. And who knows, maybe I win. Maybe I just win that first wave. But anyway, I want to give that a try. Now, as I was saying before, man, that was a long one. That was a long little rant there. But that's just been in my mind for a long time. So I had to get it out, right? Now, man, this isn't a river battle, is it? No, it's not. Okay, I was wondering I don't know, this must be a lake? Is that a lake? I don't know. Anyway, I may as well just retrain those 2 armies, or train those 2 armies right now. I've been taking a little bit of a break from training armies, like full armies. Obviously, I've been going with the Varangians, but I've been taking a break from training spearmen and Trebizond archers and cavalry. So let's just do it. Let's train up a new army. So let's get my Byzantine cavalry trained up down here, and let's do let's do the spearmen up here in Serbia, and then let's get the Slav javelin men going here in Bulgaria, and let's do anything else. Let's do some Byzantine lancers here in Naples, and maybe some Byzantine infantry here in Palestine. And what else do I want? Do I want to get some more horse archers? Gosh, I feel like I already have so many of them, but what the heck? Let's get some more horse archers, just because they're still good because they're fast. They're faster than my Byzantine cavalry, which is kind of nice. And you know what? Let's just get some more naphtha throwers. And yeah, Trebizond archers. Don't forget about these bad boys. Yeah, that's... And I'm already training the Pronoia Legion, so that should be fine. Alright, yeah, let's go with that. And I think my buildings are good. I can double check that, but... Yeah, other than buildings and checking my taxes, there's not going to be much to talk about until I'm ready to attack Sicily. That is, unless I can get this auto ceasefire with the French. Then I will definitely be celebrating that with y'all. That's what I like to see. Yes. It's time to celebrate. We are now no longer at war with the French. Awesome. Let's get our fleets back into place here. Let's bring these guys up here. And let's do... You go here. Let's see. You go... Leave one boat, and then I can bring 2 boats to the North Atlantic, and yeah, I can just bring a few more guys down. And yeah, just get a few boats in the Irish Sea, the English Channel, in the Bay of Biscay, and then we should be good to go. Where do those French boats go now that I'm looking for them? Like, we just got peace with the French and then their boats disappear? Wait, are they at war with someone? No, they're not. So what happened to them? What the hell? That's really bizarre. They didn't just both sink in storms, did they? That'd be just so wild. They're not at war with anyone. Wow, what a mystery. And their king might die. Their king might die kind of soon. He's 58. He's getting up there. Ooh, oh, okay, here we go. Here's another crusade marker. I'm assuming it's going to be against me because I own like all of the crusade objectives. And it's going to be in Anjou. Like right when I get a ceasefire with them, they already want to go at it again. And here's the key, right? Now I know where that's coming from. It was made here in Anjou. And if I want to stop that crusade now, I have the navy to do this. I can invade and I can land somewhere, you know, I could land, you know, well, I was going to say somewhere lightly defended, but it doesn't matter, you know. Brittany, Aquitaine, even though these places have full stacks, I can take them. I can take these armies and just move into Anjou. And I don't even have to take the castle itself. Just taking the province will destroy that chapter house. And that will end the crusade. And that would cause a loss of influence to the French king. Currently, he's like on the cusp of being okay, right? 4 influence is, I think, fine enough to not cause any issues. And the fact that he's 58, but see, that's the thing, he's going to be dying soon. I kind of want to wait for him to die and then see how much influence his predecessor, or I mean, but his next in line is going to have. And yeah, there's no way of knowing how much influence they're going to have, but oh, it's tempting. Yes, tempting. Very tempting. I mean, it's a good thing I'm building armies up because once they're done hitting Sicily, I'm going to have another job for them. And I have the catapults ready to go here. You know, like not that I'd need to use them, but I can take these keeps if I needed to. And these are, okay, so these keeps do have the 2 defensive upgrades. That curtain wall is going to be tough. That curtain wall is going to add a stone wall, even though it's not depicted here in this little picture here. The second wall that essentially defends the keep is going to be stone instead of wood, and that makes it tougher for catapults. It does. That's kind of where you would want to have a trebuchet to help you get through a keep with a curtain wall. But I mean 5 catapults is, I don't know, that feels pretty good. I could get another catapult. I could stop training naphtha throwers. Let's get another catapult going. Yeah, I mean, I suppose if I brought 6 catapults against a keep, even with a curtain wall, I think that should still be very doable. I don't know if that's going to be enough to get me through the inner wall, but it's worth. I mean, but I don't need to take it. That's the thing. I can just, you know, I can just bring that siege equipment just in case. Or shit, I can just. I mean, Normandy doesn't even have a freaking fort. Oh my god! Wow. Yeah, I can just attack Normandy and then go into Anjou from there. But it doesn't really matter. Like, that's the fun thing about doing these raids, is that you don't really need to take the castle. I don't think so. The issue is that if you go in there with your, say, I would bring a 3-stack. I feel like 3 stacks are kind of just the safe number for these raids, because that's enough to potentially have that army be self-sufficient enough to complete that raid. And then oftentimes what you're going to have to do is to build back that port before you can return those armies back home, because that port usually gets auto-destroyed when you invade a province. But yeah, that's what's going to happen. Yeah, I'm going to have to destroy that trapped house. Well, that's going to be fun. Whether or not that happens before or after I attack Sicily, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Depending on, you know, when the French king dies, and I still have a little bit of time left before I'm finished building these armies, so yeah, this isn't going to be something that happens immediately, but soon enough into the near future, it is going to be happening. Ah, finally, the cathedral is finished. Oh my goodness. Okay, now I can get back to work on teching up to cataphracts here in Constantinople. And yes, here's the crusade. Yes, the new crusade has been declared on Antioch. Okie dokie. Well, Stephen Stratioshus, secret blackmailer. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. So, like, this isn't going to become an issue for me until he, it's found out about him. I'll take a peek at that and see where he's at right now. Stephen Stratiochus. I'll have to remember that name. All right, which one are you? You, nope, you, nope, you, nope, you, nope, and so it's no one. Oh, it must be this guy. Yeah, he has plenty of loyalty. He's fine. He is totally fine. All right, man, check out this crusade over here. All right, so we'll be marching through German territory, and it will be siphoning up their soldiers. And I wonder if that's going to cause issues for the Germans. It'd be really nice if there's like a fight between the factions. That'd be really cool. And I need to go back. See, okay, so there's now there's two more French. Where did these French boats come from? Like, it's just okay. Whatever. Let's just go back to fighting French boats, I suppose. Let's do. I don't know why I left you behind, but you can come up and you can, let's see, 3 stars and 2 stars. Send you down to fight him. And let's do 2 stars. Yeah, you guys can come up here. You can try to fight that boat as well. And we will start to consider an attack on Anjou. Yeah. Yeah, in the meantime, though, we have to make sure we keep these oceans clear, because we do want to obviously make it so that we can have a naval landing in their territory and take care of their soldiers. So, yeah, I might end up doing that before I attack Sicily. That's my thinking. Just because if I can, you know, do that and cause issues with the French, and then get a ceasefire with the French, and then go back to trading, you know, with my northern territories. That's my goal here. You know, I want to be making money. So yeah, like making 7,000 is good for sure, but it's, you know, I could be making twice that. And I think, you know, having peace with the French is going to be the aim, the goal there. So yeah, you know, I think that's the goal, is to raid French territory and get a ceasefire with them. And I can go back to dealing with the Sicilians at some point later on. Probably at the same army, you know. That's going to be built up for raiding the French territory. We'll be ready to go when it comes time to take on the Sicilians. Thanks to the construction of the cathedral here in Constantinople, I do have another title that's available here, which is the Patriarch of Constantinople, which will be giving +2 acumen as well as +3 piety. So I have been looking at the governors and potential governors for my richest provinces that maybe could use an upgrade. Now, most of my governors for my rich provinces are pretty good. Constantinople, Antioch, Tripoli, Egypt, Naples. They all have pretty good governors. However, Greece, let's check it out, Greece. And he has the baseline of 4, which is fine, but compared to my other guys and all of those other provinces that I just listed, you know, they all have like 8 or 9. And he could use an upgrade for sure. And I was looking around and I did find one that potentially could be the guy. Nicephorus Vatazes. He has 6 acumen base. And he doesn't have any traits that can take away from that. Or look like they will. You know, irredeemably witty is giving +3 acumen. he is losing piety from perversion, but you know what's funny is that he'd be the Patriarch of Constantinople, he would be getting +3 piety. So, oh dear. Let's just let's just kind of gloss over that subject. But yeah, I am thinking about maybe doing this and making him the new governor of Greece, and then giving him the title of the Patriarch of Constantinople. So you know what? Sorry, Lord Basilicesius, you've done your job with honor and duty, but like, it's just, I think it's time for you to retire. Yeah, you can retire and just go back to being a peasant. And then this guy can be the new governor of Greece, and that's going to double the acumen, you know, of the Greece governor. So that's going to be good. It's going to be a good boost for the economy there. Yeah. I think that'll be worth my while. Let's now look at what kind of boost Greece is going to get from its economy. So yeah, it's sitting at 900 now that it doesn't have a governor, and it's going to be given to this guy, already up to 1455. Pretty gosh darn good. And let's give him +2 acumen. Yeah, 1644. That's a good boost. That is a good boost. Yeah, I'll take that. And let me just double check he's plenty loyal. Yeah, he's a good chap. Even though he has been forcibly retired, he seems to be in good spirits about it. So that is good. I don't want an angry peasant on my hands. And yeah, this French crusade is moving a bit closer for sure. And the king is man, 60 years old. He's getting up there. And I think, let's see, so we got some French boats that we can probably sink. 2-star boat and my 2-star boat. So yeah, the idea is to attack with my fast boat to catch him, and then also my combat boat to hopefully help win that fight. And then how about here? So we have a Geostar and we have 2 Dromons, but you know, one of them's a 3-star admiral, so we should be able to win that, hopefully. And then send my 2-star down here to try to engage this French fleet as well. And hopefully we can clear up these seas. That would be nice. Oh, we got another French crusade marker here in Aquitaine. Oh man, these guys are just asking for it. Yeah, Aquitaine. Oh man, it's right on the coast. That would be so easy. So that's, oh my god. I could land in Aquitaine, destroy their chapter house, and then move on to Anjou and destroy theirs. I could eliminate 2 crusades in the matter of 2 turns and just tank their king's influence. I could start a civil war probably instantly. Oh dear. Oh man, that's gonna be... Oh yes, that has to happen. It's not gonna happen for this king. So, yeah, don't get your hopes up. It's gonna be for the next guy. And that's totally fine. I just hope he doesn't have crazy good influence. But yeah, my armies are still working on it. I'll get them going. I'll get my three stacks going, and then we can go and raid these 2 provinces. Oh man, damn. Okay, they sunk my 2 Dromons. Yeah, they brought in another boat, and they turned the tide of that battle. Damn, that sucks. Okay. And we did sink this boat. Okay. So this worked. Splitting my boats up and attacking that way, that did work. And then I did lose a Dromon also in a storm here in the Black Sea. Alright, Jesus. Let's see. At least we caught an assassin from the enemy. Citadel's finished, and Horse Breeders Guild is finished as well. So I wonder if that's the last building I need to train Pronoia Legion here. I'm not quite sure. And Master Merchants finished here in Egypt. Yeah, more and more money. Give me that money. And I'm finally working on getting my my horse buildings built here in Constantinople so that I can eventually train cataphracts. And then brothels finished here in Arabia. I just wanted another province that allows me to train spies, potentially for the future. And Let's see, Prince Andronicus. Yeah, we get it. You're inbred. We get it. Like -3 acumen and -3 command. Jesus, man, tough stuff. The French crusade is now on my border. It's sitting here in Hungary, and I wonder if it will attack. It has gathered a total of 1,400 men, and I don't know. I don't think that's going to be enough. I mean, obviously not enough to like break me, but I don't even know if they're going to attack. They might just hang out here in Hungary as they did with essentially their last stack, you know, and the Germans as well. They're down to essentially 200 men left in their crusade. And I just remembered that with the crusades, you can actually only launch one at a time. So what would happen is that this crusade marker would just kind of sit here. Actually, no, because this would be destroyed. Huh, wait, now I'm trying to think, like, do they still lose influence when the chapter house gets destroyed? Or is it just when crusades get canceled? I feel like when I was playing the Egyptians on my own time, I thought that when I had my Rabat destroyed, and I just had some jihad markers sitting around that I wasn't using, I thought that that was enough right there to cause a civil war, just based on my memory. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking there. Also, quick question, unrelated, but remind me. Actually, I just don't even know the answer to this because I never did this in Shogun. But when you try to bribe an army, will that declare war? Will bribing and other factions' armies declare war on them? I feel like, isn't it in Rome where that's not the case? You can just bribe another army and that would not declare war against them, which is just kind of a silly thing. But I believe in this game it does, and as well as Shogun. I think it does, but would someone please confirm that for me, please? I've never done it. I've only tried to bribe rebels and never another faction's army. I'm thinking sometime, and this is just, you know, later on, maybe bribing the Italians. They have a general here who has weak principles, which is a -20% cost to bribe. Also, which this is a funny thing about the Byzantines, they actually have a discount to Genoese sailors, which is that archer unit that you can train only in Genoa. And it's funny, you know, like why would they have a discount for Genoese sailors? Did they have close relations with the Genoese? I know they had with the Venetians, but I don't know anything about the Byzantines and the Genoans, so maybe, I don't know. But I might take this just so I can train those Genoese sailors at some point. It's funny that the Byzantines get a discount for them, though. That's a really random thing, but yeah, in any case, I'm gonna probably just play one more turn, and we will see if this French crusade decides to attack me. There we go. Killing some French boats. That feels a little bit better. And yes, this one's also sunk. I think that might have just cleared the seas of French boats. I think so. Looks like we're catching assassins. My spy got caught by someone's bodyguards, so that wasn't from a building. I assume it was just because there's like an enemy spy in this, or an assassin in this province that did catch my spy, would be my assumption. Now that the French boats have finally been cleared out of the oceans, out of the seas, I can't help myself. I really do want to play just one more turn so that I can see the wealth that I will be making with the French boats gone. That's going to be very, very nice. Also, my armies are pretty much almost done. I just want like one more unit of Pronoia Legion here, and I see it. That should be good. Like, I should be good to go after that, and I should be ready to attack the French. And yeah, go in Aquitaine first and then take Anjou later. I want to see if by just destroying the chapter house itself, that also will give a hit on the influence. Man, this king is like on his way out, but yeah, this is getting there. It's almost there. So I'm probably going to play at least one more turn in. What happened to the Novgorods? They're gone. The Russians are gone. I saw that their king had died of an illness, but I guess I didn't really finish reading that message. I thought that I just assumed that there's an heir. an heir to take over. Oh man, they always get the raw side of the deal. Man, I was looking forward to the Orthodoxy Empire holding the eastern side of the map, fighting the Mongols side by side. Wouldn't that have been just so cool and so epic? This is the first time I've seen the Russians actually do well. And then, what, they just died out because they didn't have any sons left? Come on. That's too bad. That's too bad. Alright, well, maybe I can create some sort of, I don't know, faction reemergence? I don't know. I wonder now, like, does that mean that the Poles are gonna start taking over? I feel like they don't have enough armies unless they use their Moldavian armies. But the Novgorods left their border with the Poles. I mean, they have a lot of decent sized armies. So, like, I don't know. The Poles might struggle with this. Going up against militia sergeants and armored spearmen and Vikings and boyars. Like, I don't know. I don't think the Poles, no, they don't. They have Slav warriors and javelin men. Like, there's... Oh, the poor Poles. Yeah, they don't have it. They don't have what it takes. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, those rebel armies are just going to be hanging out there awaiting their fate from the Mongols. All right, well, let's play another turn, and I just want to look at my income. I just want to look at it. That's all I really care about right now. And hopefully it's pretty decent. If it's not, I'm going to be rather somewhat confused. So I am the most technologically advanced. Good for me. And yeah, the Italian Doge just died from an illness, but he does have an heir. I'm reading it this time. A stew is finished. This is going to give +2 valor, or +1 valor for the spies that are trained here in Lesser Armenia. And the boyar is finished. See, I hadn't realized that I hadn't even built the first bow building here in Bulgaria. So I think I need to build like 2 more bow buildings before I can even train those Bulgarian brigands. So yeah, it takes a long time to get those guys. Let's see, anything here, anything worth looking at? Doesn't look like it's too concerning. All right, income, making 6,000, so something's wrong. They just got another French boat, didn't they? No, they did not get another French boat. So why is my income only 6,000? Is it really... I mean, yeah, I guess I did lose the port of Crimea. I'm not trading with the Novgorods anymore, so that's 2 ports right there that I'm not trading with. As well as, Finland and Livonia. That's 2 more ports that I'm not trading with. Okay, well, yeah, that's too bad. Oh well. Yeah, come on, Poles, take these provinces so I can trade with you. That's what I need. Or just, you know, get a ceasefire with the French. Again, that would be preferable. And this German crusade has to die out soon, you know. He's probably going to die out by the time they have a new emperor in place. This one's probably getting pretty old as well. 57, yeah. Hopefully the new emperor does not have high influence. I can just hope for that. And yeah, this French king, 64. Like, I'm ready to go. You know, I'm ready to go pretty much, like, like, probably this turn I might be able to attack, but that is all gonna have to wait until next episode. Sorry to leave you with a cliffhanger, but yeah, that's all gonna have to wait until next time. As always, I hope you've enjoyed this one, and thank you very much for watching. This has been Conestip playing Medieval Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye.